فقدت
I lost the most beautiful thing in my life, my daughter. Her name was Lin.
الرفقة
I
الإخوة
lost my companions, my brothers, my support, my life. How am I supposed to replace them? They can never be replaced.
يوقف والله خلاص.
I want to stop. I'm done.
Sorry.
I can't do this anymore.
2006, 2026, 20 years, 3 devastating wars between Hezbollah and Israel, and a tragedy repeated with even greater horrors. On 12 July 2006, a war began in Lebanon after Hezbollah killed and captured Israeli soldiers with the aim of exchanging them for Lebanese and Arab prisoners held by Israel. At the time, Ali Safiyuddin was 19, a volunteer with the Civil Defense in Tyre, where civilians had sought refuge from the war. Among them, his wife and daughter, Lin.
I told my wife, come to the Civil Defense Center with me. I have work to do, and I want to keep my daughter close to me, so I can see her and she can see me.
بحدود العصريات
Around afternoon, it felt like the day of judgment had arrived.
إلا قيمة قايمة.
On the fourth day of the war, the Israeli army bombed the building housing the Civil Defense Center in Tyre. The Israeli military said at the time that it had targeted a Hezbollah facility in the city. Ali insists that the building housed only civil defense personnel and civilians.
بلاقي بنتي
I found my daughter in her mother's arms. A piece of shrapnel had hit my wife in the arm. It looked like it was severed. Another piece of shrapnel hit my daughter in the neck. They were both burnt. I carried my daughter. She still had a pulse. She was badly burned and had severe injuries.
You knew that she was.
Of course, she's my daughter.
Lin would have been 21 years and 8 months old today.
Exactly 21 years and 8 months. My daughter could have been graduating from university, specializing in whatever field she loved. Every father waits for these moments, for his children to graduate.
20 years later, Ali experienced another painful loss in yet another war between Hezbollah and Israel. The first spark came from Hezbollah in 2023 in support of Gaza. The war was supposed to end with a ceasefire in 2024, but Israel never stopped striking in Lebanon. Then, in March 2026, Hezbollah launched rockets towards northern Israel in response to Israeli attacks and in retaliation for the killing of Iran's supreme leader, Ali Khamenei. By then, Ali had become the director of the Civil Defense Center in Tyre and was on the front line of rescue operations. In late April, he set out on a mission with other civil defense paramedics following an Israeli strike in Majd al-Zoun in the south. On the way to the mission, the paramedics recorded a video and sent it to their colleagues. It would be their last one.
هيدا الفيديو آخر فيديو لإنه نحن طالعين.
This is the last video the guys filmed. It was as if they somehow sensed something. Less than 5 minutes after the ambulance took off with the first injured person, a drone struck just a few meters away from us. We withdrew from the area and headed back towards the Lebanese army. The rescuers with me started crying. The injured man was calling out to us, saying, "Don't leave me." The team asked me, "Since when do you leave someone lying on the ground without help?"
صار يقولوا لي إنه أنت من أيمتى بتترك حدا على الأرض؟
There were 4 of you at that point.
Yes, 4 of us, me and 3 others, Hadi, Hussein and Hussein. The Lebanese army made several calls and told us that we had another hour to finish the job. We went back and pulled the injured man out. As we were carrying him, Hadi and Hussein said to me, "Go and bring the ambulance closer." I told them we're almost there, just hold on a little longer. They said, "We can't carry him anymore, we are exhausted. Go and bring the ambulance." I looked at them and left them carrying the injured man while I went to get the ambulance. I arrived and got into the vehicle. I looked back through the rear-view mirror. Suddenly, all I could see was darkness and blackness. A missile came down right in the middle of the stretcher. That was it. Everything ended there.
خلص كل شيء.
The BBC attended the funeral of the 3 paramedics. Commenting on the incident, Israel said it was targeting a Hezbollah commander, though it provided no evidence to support the claim. At the funeral, Ali's grief was evident. The 3 young men were like his own sons.
أنا بتذكر إنه أنت قلت لي كانوا بيسموه.
You once told me that they used to call you dad. Who were Hadi, Hussein, and Hussein?
حسين صوتي يتيم الأم.
Hussein Safi was an orphan. He joined the team in 2008. I want to stop. I'm done. I can't do this anymore.
Ali's tragedies, both those he has personally endured and the countless others he has witnessed through his work, speak for the suffering of a nation and of generations. 20 years separate 2006 from today, and what hurts most is that the wound remains open. Ali, are you afraid there could be more wars?
خاف من الحرب ما نفقد.
I'm afraid of losing more people. Wars are difficult. They have no rules. So many innocent people die. So much destruction and displacement. I don't fear war itself. I fear for the people who are caught up in them.
بفزع على الناس اللي عايشين فيها.